Alrighty, let's dive into the three categories of science. While we're at it, this is the last of our four core subjects that we have broken down and figured out how to teach at home. So there's three different categories of science that are kind of stretched across the curriculum. That is living things, physical science, and then earth science. So we've got living things, which are just kind of classifying what's living, what's not, realizing that plants are living, plants and animals are living things, humans are living things, TVs are not, desks are not. Just, little things like that. A good activity to do with this one is just sorting cards, print them offline. It's a little bit harder to do a science experiment when you're classifying living things versus non-living things. So for this one, I would just kind of break it down. I would do cards, I would do sorting, just little things like that. The second one, physical science, so also known as physics, which I'm sure you guys have all heard of. That is the biggest, most broadest category of science that we have. That's electricity. Things like chemical reactions, solids, liquids, and gases, things like that. So this is where all the science experiments come in. And this is where we can have a lot of fun. So this is baking soda and vinegar mixed together. What does that make? It's just, making that elephant toothpaste that is so fun to make. Slime, little things like that, How mixing things together causes a chemical reaction, causes a scientific reaction, and then we get a whole new product. That is kind of the basis of physics. And then we've got earth science. Earth science is, going outside, basically. It's erosion, it's rocks, it's minerals, it's space, that kind of thing. So those are the three categories that we focus on throughout the years, regardless of the age that your child is, regardless of the grade that your child is in. Something in these categories will be taught to them. Something in these categories will benefit them. So don't overthink it. Keep it really simple. Look at my resources that I've put up there. Pick one, do it. It really doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a learning experience. Now, with that being said, make sure that when you are doing science experiments, you are understanding and explaining the why behind it. Children often, they do these fun experiments. It's like, try the science experiment, like rainbow one or the baking soda and vinegar or whatever it might be. And nobody explains the science. It's just, oh, that's cool. Then we just move on. But it's like, why did that happen? In school, we would never do a science experiment and then say, and that's that. We have to look into the theories and we have to look into the science behind it and the why and the learning. So just make sure that when you're doing something at home that you're focusing on that too. That's why I think it's better to do a little bit of learning and exploring and research projects and then ending it off with an experiment to kind of showcase your learning. So this might be like a couple of weeks or a week. Monday, Wednesday, we learn about chemical reactions. Friday, we do an experiment. And then we move on the next week to something different. So I wouldn't worry about, trying to be like, let's do every science experiment in this book. I wouldn't do that. I would take a little bit of time to learn and then go ahead and do the science experiments to reiterate, to kind of, showcase that learning and to show that it's actually true, that what you've learned. So yeah, that's science in a nutshell. I hope that this helped you guys. Be sure to check out those resources. That Duckster's website is really, really good. It has lots of different activities and information on it, and even some games. So have fun, guys, and happy learning.